Hello, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz. We are in the precipice of Thanksgiving, Meelz. Do you know this?
I was going to wait for them to pass by, so maybe I will.
What the hell? Who got shot, bruh?
I live on a busy street. I don't know what to say. Like, it just is what it is.
Sheesh.
All right. Hopefully they're gone for now. Oh, look at that. I mean, kind of. It's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, 2 weeks away.
I'm not feeling Thanksgiving as.
This is kind of like the last normal weekend before Thanksgiving, I think. So it's pretty much like the calm before the storm. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm ready to eat, ready to get things going here. And I think I've kind of figured out what I want to make. And then I buy the food and then I get all that stuff ready. I stay up all night cooking. That's my favorite thing to do for Thanksgiving.
I haven't thought of anything. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's still kind of far away. I don't know who all gonna be here. I don't know what all is gonna go down. So I haven't really thought of it. I'm being mindful, living day by day. You know what I'm saying? I might not even have money in 2 weeks. Who knows? The economy. Come on, man. SNAP benefits. Where'd that go? You know, this country, we can never figure it out. But I will say this. I have 3 things. Okay. They might have spun the block. Maybe there's a crime in progress downstairs. I don't know. 3 things. First thing is actual news, important news. I want to make sure to get this out of the way since it's at the top of the show and want to do this. You teased a big announcement yesterday. The big announcement is this. Usually every year we do the Royal Rumble pool. And typically, or at least from they started doing 2 Rumbles, we usually have 2 winners. And we still have 2 winners. It's just an unfortunate situation that one of the winners, I mean, we all know the other winner, Bosa, 2-time, attempting to go for a 3rd next year. Might have to change the rules for that.
3rd time at this point, he's just the host.
Yeah. So, however, due to unfortunate circumstances, we could have come to really a schedule thing to schedule with this. To schedule with our winner. So I talked to him over the weekend. He officially relinquished his spot as the Royal Rumble pool. Well, he's the Royal Rumble pool winner. He just relinquished his prize, which was appearing on the show. So with that said, I'm putting on my Adam Pearce glasses right now. When I say this, we will officially be holding a Royal Rumble Run It Back Battle Royale next week on the show. We're running it back, okay? And we will open this to pretty much anybody. I'm saying this anybody, but the real people in, you have to sign up for the Patreon. I'm not saying you have to pay for the Patreon, but you have to be a member of the Patreon. You could be a free member of the Patreon. You could be a paid member of the Patreon. We're doing this to everybody because the Royal Rumble pool is typically for everybody. Royal Rumble pool is typically not for just patrons, but it's for everybody. But the key to signing up for this is you have to sign up to be part of the Patreon. Over the next couple months or so, we'll have more Patreon stuff. I have kind of more stuff planned for the Patreon as we head into New Year. I was thinking of doing a newsletter. Having fun with that and see where that goes. But you have to sign up for the Patreon. Once you sign up for the Patreon, there will be a post there that everyone will be able to see. Actually, by the time you hear this, it should be up now because I scheduled it to come out during the show. So it's already planned. Everything's already planned. Literally in 10 minutes of us doing this, it'll be out. All you have to do is enter right there. Next week, we will do the official lottery and we'll determine who wins. I say this and I want this to be, there are two major rules to this, and I want people within the sound of my voice to hear this. Do not sign up if you can't become available at the time we record.
And that time is usually early afternoon.
Yeah, Tuesday. We can be kind of flexible on a Tuesday, but not really. But if you're not free on a Tuesday, I suggest you just don't sign up. Not that I'm trying to deter anybody, but we have a hard schedule that we keep throughout the week. And essentially, we can't record another day for the Royal Rumble winner. So unless you're available on Tuesday, preferably early afternoon, East Coast and or West Coast time, even in the morning on West Coast time, if you're at West Coast, do not sign up. The second rule is, this is very important, Bosa cannot enter, unfortunately. Just the same person winning both Rumble pools and getting 2 guest slots on the show would be terrible. So unfortunately, Bosa, you are not able to enter this. It's actually stipulated in the rules on the post that Bosa, you cannot enter. But we appreciate you for appearing on the show this year. And we look forward to you potentially entering for a third time and going for the 3-peat, which is no one has done. No one has even done the 2-peat. So you doing a 3-peat would actually be incredibly crazy. So let's get that out the way. Sign up again, patreon.com/TheHORNC. Sign up for the Run It Back Battle Royale winner. You have until, I believe, the week before the 2026 Royal Rumble to appear on the show. Okay? So we're giving people extra time. Usually it was within the span of the year. We're giving you until the week before the Royal Rumble. So this is plenty of time to figure it out, whether it's during the holidays, whether it's take that time off. I know y'all asses got PTO. Me, Justin, we got limited PTO. Come on, man. You can't even spell PTO without us at this point. No P. Just TO. Just TO.
Time off.
So we have that. Second thing I wanted to ask. Well, this is more fun, Justin. So they official released the Traders cast yesterday. Did you see that on social media?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
I want to go through the cast real quick, and I want to ask you, who do you think the first 2 traders are from this cast?
Okay.
So let's go through the cast. This is season 4 of Traders. It premieres January 8th, 2026. This is not an ad, but it can be seen as that.
We will definitely be talking about it. So
yeah, at some point.
Fast forward buttons ready.
I love Traders. A bunch of new people and Dorinda.
My wife is so excited that Dorinda is back. So you laugh, but she's got a hive.
They have varying ages. The oldest person here is 72 years old. The youngest person here is 26 years old. People from a bunch of variety of reality television shows such as Amazing Race, Survivors, Dancing with the Stars, Laguna Beach, The Real Housewives, Big Brother, Love Island, Ladies of London, The Bachelorette, people who are Olympic figure skaters, comedians, moms of football players, and so forth and so on. Looking at the cast, do you have the cast in front of you? Do you need me to?
Yeah, I got it in front of me.
Who from this cast, 2 people, do you believe are the first 2 traders? Or who would you choose for the first 2 traders, rather?
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, celebrity traders is like weird because you never really know, but like you do know it'd be easy for them to do it.
Did you hear that they're coming out with a real person traders, like regular traders?
Yeah, and I can't wait for that one because
the common folk.
Yeah, like the common folk make for probably better TV. I'm not gonna lie.
It's gonna be Sean Ross Sapp, Dave Meltzer, Ibu,
Uh,
The whole
you know,
gang is there.
I'm gonna be real. I think they're gonna pick Johnny Weir and either Dorinda or Candace. Dorinda, the only way Dorinda will not get voted off is
if she's a traitor.
Yeah, that's the only. Like I think they would pick her because she's relatively safe this time because she got voted off early last time. Like I think the only person that this does not work for is like Bananas. Like if Bananas came back, he would have to play the game a little differently next time. But like for sure, Dorinda is not getting voted off first again. That's my prediction.
So my prediction for the first two traitors going through this, and of course I don't know everybody, right? Back of my head was Michael Rappaport.
I think he's gone first day.
I think by niggas just being annoyed.
The housewives do not like him. They hate him. There's like a war. That's why him being on there is such a
wow.
Like, I'm interested in this because like he used to do Watch What Happens Live. I only know this from my wife, by the way.
Okay.
So I guess Watch What Happens Live. He used to recap housewife stuff. And he says something really fucked up about, I want to say one like Portia or someone. And,
and Portia's here.
Yeah, and she's here and they got beef. So it might be a housewife link up.
Okay. Do you think we get at least one housewife as a traitor?
Throughout the I said I think it's gonna be Dorinda and Johnny Weir.
Okay. All right. I'm thinking
don't pick Travis Kelce, old lad mama.
No, I'm thinking Natalie from The Amazing Race. Natalie, she was on the previous episode of The Challenge too.
Yeah, she was on The Challenge. Mm-hmm.
Just because she kind of, no one really thinks she's nice. She's kind of like even keeled. Like no one really thinks her. I think she could play the role very, very well. And then I do think you need someone to stir up the pot in the, what the fuck do they call it? The turret, which is what what is it? I think it's the turret. It's the turret, okay. Right?
Yeah.
Which is why I think Michael Rappaport will probably be a traitor.
I just feel like that's just gonna be easy for them to clip him so fast. Like they hate him, bro. We'll see. It's kind of like going to be like how Boston Rob was, and they were like immediately on edge.
Boston Rob played it low, though. The only reason he got outed, he was pretty much told. He was pretty much revealed as a traitor at the table.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the only reason he truly got outed was because he revealed himself as a traitor. He got revealed as a traitor on the way out by what's my man's name? Bob.
Yeah, Drag Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Drag Bob. So I'm looking forward to Traders top of next year. One of the best reality competition shows on television, better than the regular reality competition show I watch every week. Second thing, what was your GPA in college?
What about the time I graduated? Like a 2.9? 2.9?
Okay, we have the same GPA. Shout out to us.
I gave
Did
up.
Did you think? Oh, okay. Did you think? Did your college instill in you that it would be the end of the world if you did not have a 3.0 GPA?
Yeah. It's gonna be real. Gotta be real.
And you were just like, I mean, so I finished with a 2.88. Again, by the end, I mean, I was in electrical engineering. I was way in over my head at this point.
Yeah.
Me walking out, but like, if you had below a 3, they were like, you're not getting any fucking job. Like, you're not getting shit.
But then they say that, and we were in a recession when we got out. So like, I didn't do any of that shit. No, but I said, yeah, I'm gonna be like my all the adults that are already out here. Cool.
Yeah. They try to instill in me, they're like, you need to push for a 3.0. You need to push for a 3.0. Actually, they told me the first orientation to college, they said, this is going to be the hardest thing of your life, but you need to maintain a 3.0. And I think the last time I was above 3.0 was maybe like the first semester of my sophomore year. then I just fell.
Straight A's like one semester. I got straight A's, and then
My first semester, I got straight A's. I was like, "Oh, this is easy. Much easier than TV."
But I had a very low pressure schedule that year, so it was very easy for me to get in.
Did you get to pick your schedule when you first got there, or did they assign you a schedule? Because they assigned me a schedule.
You could do either or. You could have your like you would meet with your
advisor.
Your counselor, your advisor every top of the thing. But the thing is, like, it was dumb to meet your advisor because they're not there up at 5 a.m. trying to get your classes for you. So they can
also, they don't give a fuck, really.
Exactly. They could tell you all they want. You got to take this fucking sociology class, but you ain't gonna be or anthropology. You ain't gonna be up at 5 a.m. trying to get that bitch. Like, that was worse than a fucking sneaker drop trying to get.
I do not miss that part of being. Ours was never at 5 a.m. Ours was at random times, like 1 p.m. Like while you're in a class, it's like, okay, the class is about to open for this section of the things. And the thing about college was it really was the teacher that you had that determined your fate. Mm-hmm. If you had a shitty teacher, you were just going to have a shitty time.
Yeah.
And everyone knew because there was Rate My Professor. I'm not even sure if Rate My Professor still you still do that shit. I'm assuming it's become too meta at this point, and even professors just look at their rating on Rate My Professor or comment under it.
I can log into my VCU portal. I'm on the site right now.
Oh, really? You can still do that?
My account has been locked.
All right. Oh, as you should. Why not?
Let me reset my password.
Let's see. I can't even log into.
I don't even know my ID. What the fuck? Oh yeah, I'm straight. Yeah, it wasn't my day. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And,
we sure do.
This has been the week that has been. I would say that it's like the week of entitlement, right? Like the week of people airing their grievances, sometimes showing their grievances, and essentially airing it out online or having it come out online. And really, I think in a lot of these situations, not realizing, I think, not being aware or self-aware of what was going on, but also digging the grave even deeper in some instances. And I think that there's a lot of what could I say? There's a lot of overlap with how this thing goes. But I want to start off with something that I hit you up the other day, and I was like, we got to get to the bottom of this. Something's not right.
Okay. And I still need you to run it back for me and kind of like fill me in on everything that you're thinking and everything that you know. Because to be honest with you, I've only so much bandwidth for Rich Holland. This is just true. It's just there's only so much I can care without realizing I have my own problem that I have to deal with. And that the timeline needs to stop forcing these problems on me as well.
Listen, the Rich Holland thing is interesting, right? Because when he got let go, it was less of like a fumble. Like it wasn't really like any.
I didn't say fumble. I sure said damn. I was like,
no, it was. But I'm saying it was less of like a fumble. It was less of like a fumble and more of like a damn. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of like nobody really gave a shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just is what it is, right? Like we kind of saw the writing on the wall, and he was on Evolve, he was on NXT, like it just wasn't working. And then he got injured. He put out a statement 2 weeks ago, right? That he had gotten released while he was injured during a TNA show, and WWE was not paying him for the rest of it. Then it comes out that the contract was only for a year, and they actually let him go 14 days before it was supposed to end. Or they told him 14 days before, we're not going to renew, right? So he gets on, makes a notes app, like comment saying, basically shitting on him again. Like basically being like, I can't believe they're doing this, da-da-da-da. And then it comes out that from, I guess, Fightful or someone that like WWE pretty much pulled support. They was like, all right, fuck it. I guess you don't want to get paid your last 14 days or you want to get paid out or whatever. So we're gonna basically fire you and just boom, we're gonna be done with you. We're gonna wipe our hands with you. We're not gonna pay you out for that last 14 days, right?
Hey man, unemployment right there, baby.
And that's for, I guess, disparaging the company, which I'm imagining, and I think a lot of people haven't really caught on to this, but like I'm gonna guess there's a non-disparaging comment or verbiage.
I would assume while you're contracted, yes.
Yeah, like not to do things like that. So like that is something that I think definitely happened.
I'm assuming TKO enforces it more than WWE used to do back in the day, because folks in WWE used to not care back in the day, but since it's now been bought by TKO, they've been a lot more stringent on their policies regarding things. So I'm also assuming it's a part of that. But go on.
Yeah, the non-disparaging thing is just something you're not going to get away from. So like for like people are like bugged out, like I can't believe this. I'm like, well, I don't know if you should have talked shit about the company, but that's just me. That's just me. So that comes out, and then next thing you know, there's a GoFundMe created by I don't know if it was his wife. He says it was a member of his family. I don't really know who the fuck put out this GoFundMe, Meelz. I don't know. That's the part that's like so confusing to me, because I'm just like, well, who put this out if that was the case, right? He comes back out and people are giving money. Chelsea Green's giving money. The young
monthly subscriptions, yeah, $1,000 monthly subscriptions.
The young bucks are giving out money. All these people are giving it. They're giving him $1,000. Like you said, they're giving him $1,000, $1,000 a week or a month, and then it comes out. He gets on there and says, he does several things, Meelz. So this isn't going to be like just solidified to one thing. He says several things. Once he gets on there and says, I don't know who set up this GoFundMe, yo. My bad, y'all. Doubles down and says, I don't know who set this up, but I'm not refunding anything.
Oh, it's his mom. Did you hear? It was his mom.
It was his mom?
Yeah. Meanwhile, the campaign's organizer, Susan Chapman, identified herself on the page as Menzies' mother. I mean, it's either his mom or attempting to be his mom.
Somebody did it. And he said, I'm not giving this money back. I'm going to give it to charity, but only when I'm back on my feet. I was like, what type of scam are you running here? Because you got wrestlers giving you hella money a month. Well, he shut it down. It's shut down now. But
it's shut down. He says, I am not donating to the GoFundMe money. Once I am earning money in this position to donate, I will donate to charity. This will be the money I earn, not to go. All right, people can't fucking write. I am not a scammer, is what he ends the tweet with.
Well, here's at this point, Meelz, your thoughts, because it gets worse. He did an interview yesterday.
Yes, on Busted Open, right?
Yeah, he did an interview yesterday, and there's some choice things that he says on this interview that I feel as though should have kind of been talked about a little bit more. But I think people, the narrative of this thing has gone from, damn, WWE's terrible, to like, wait a minute, are they? Like, a lot of people were like what the hell is really going on here with this guy? And you know, I want to get to, well, before I get to the comments, like, what do you think thus far?
All right, so like I said, I mean, at the beginning, I only have so much bandwidth for Ridge Holland. And what started to me as like a damn, right? Like, he literally gets injured. His contract is not going to be renewed. They're going to pay for the surgery, but at this point, he can't work or garner any kind of like living. If, you know, his contract is up, it seems like they didn't really want to extend it past that certain point and also pay him while also paying for the surgery while knowing he was not going to work anymore. Which is fair in a sense, but also kind of like, damn, that kind of sucks. However, I mean, it really does sound like, and I don't want to kick a person when he's down, right? But I look at me in the situation that I'm in, and I look at Ridge Holland and the situation he's in, and I wonder how we ended up in the same situation. based on how much he would, and I don't want to say just because you making more, but you're making big. You were making main roster bread, NXT bread. You were making bread for years.
Wait. It gets better.
Okay.
He's on there and he says, I went from the main roster. This is from Busted Open interview. I went from the main roster down to NXT. And then I remember being in a conversation with the head coach. They threw the number out there. I was like, well, why? Where does this number come from? And they said to me point blank, whoever they is, I asked the question. They couldn't tell me. They said they don't see the value. So I kept asking, who's they? I would like to talk to these people in person. I would like to get their side of the story.
They
And
will never let you talk to them. That's not how getting release works, bro. Imagine every time we got fired from a job, it was like, let me talk to who fired me.
Here's where we get delusion and a little bit of CTE probably. If they didn't see value, they would cut me right there and then. They didn't see value, so why offer me a 3-year deal for a 50% pay cut? Which obviously I said, look, I can't be tied in 3 years for that amount of money. I can't do that. I'll bet on myself for a year. I'll do a year and bet on myself and then let the chips fall where they may. Listen, nigga. I got to get real here with you.
I feel like he's someone who makes poor decisions. It seems like a constant trail of poor decisions from him.
There are people who are fucking struggling right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To a point where they can't get food, benefits, healthcare, whatever the fuck.
No, motherfucking thing.
Whatever your main roster bread is, deduct that by 50%. And let's just say he's making $700 a year on the main roster. We know how much these people make. They don't make chump change. Let's just on a lower end, he's making $700, $750 a year. That gets cut 50% to $300 a year. He got what? 3-4 kids. I understand. I get it. I understand.
You also got to pay for a bunch of different stuff. I mean, wrestling expenses is different.
But that is factored into what they budget for the year. Meal. It's not like it's like, oh fuck, I didn't know I had to pay for my travel and shit. That's part of it.
But then that when they cut you 50%, you're like, how the fuck am I gonna?
Well, he wasn't going to be traveling main roster no more. So why the hell would they be paying him $700K anymore? Because that's factored into your contract. Is that you're just in Orlando? If anything, you might travel to a takeover, which from what I know from people who work there, a lot of that travel gets covered. Maybe not the hotels, but sometimes the travel's covered for NXT people because it's probably a lot of people that are traveling. And he's never on PLEs anyway. So they looked at it as there's a lot less that he need. Like they look at it like, listen, we don't see the value. We'll give you 3 years for you to basically work to help the other people that are going to be better than you get better than you on NXT, and then we'll probably see what happens then. And he says, "Nah, give me a year at the same price cut, at the same pay cut." Meelz. Keep in mind, this is the same pay cut he was taking, but he was only taking it for a year. Bet on yourself where? In the same company?
I think what he had done, I think what his mindset was, which was inaccurate, was that if he was going to be featured on NXT and he was only going to have a year on his contract, he could still be featured on television. So when he eventually, his contract did go up, and if they didn't see anything, he could immediately be like, okay, I was just on television. Let me parlay this hotness into the streets, the indie streets. And let me, he was like, yo, my DPW check is going to be hitting. Did know DPW is going to run out of business at the end of this year. But I'm sure this all reads to me that he thought he had a good idea with what he's doing. And actually all of it reads like a constant trail of bad decision making.
His fucking wife, I'm like, you are the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met in my life.
His mom tried to clearly remediate. It was like, honey, I've seen you. We share the checking account. I'm going to start this GoFundMe and let's see what happens from here.
So it is. And then it gets worse. It gets worse.
Okay.
It's way worse. Look, I don't want to laugh, but this is actually the funniest quote. He said, I asked the questions. I said, is there anything I need to work on? When I got taken off TV, I was pitching ideas.
Then I will tell you.
One of the pitches was for me and Inamura to do a best out of 5. Best out of 5? They barely wanted to see you best out of 1.
Hey man, they were like, listen, if this Josh Briggs guy is the bee's knees over here, surely I can get some in with Inamura.
So you want to do a best?
I think him and Inamura would have actually been kind of fire, but yeah,
whatever. You would not have liked it.
I would have.
If it's talk about this nigga,
in the frame of NXT, I get it, but I mean, I don't give a fuck. Like again, my bandwidth for Rich Holland is incredible.
So he says, Is it my promos? Is it my work? What do I need to do? What have I done wrong? And everyone just says, no, everything's fine. I'm like, I ain't stupid. Yeah, they're gonna say it's fine because they don't know what the fuck. They're not trying to let your dumb ass. They know you're dumb. He said, I remember walking into the training center one day and the head coach pulled me over and said, hey, have you put any feelers out anywhere? This is out the blue. Imagine your supervisor says, hey, man, you been looking?
Hey, man. That's actually happened to me before. It's actually, and it was at like one of my first jobs, and the president came over because I was a college assistant, which is like basically part-time, but I had funded hours. So I could only do 1,040 hours a year working this part-time job. And the president of the school was like, hey man, you been looking? I'm like, yeah, I've been looking. Fuck you asking for? Mind your business. Get back in the line for food. Mm-hmm. And I literally found out, I mean, I did get another job, but they told me, her assistant told me all after the fact that like, yeah, they were gonna let you go immediately afterwards.
Yeah, because again, then he said at the end of that quote, I'm just asking, the trainer said, I'm just asking because creative hasn't brought up your name. How many clues?
Someone's trying to do him a solid. They were trying to do him a solid.
Like, how many clues did you need that like this is I should probably go. I don't need to be here anymore. I'm going.
But I don't know. It seemed like, considering with the TNA thing, that they were going to book him on TNA now, right?
Yeah, basically, they were gonna softly trade him to TNA.
Yeah, essentially. And again, that's an opportunity that could end up rolling into something. He gets let go from here, he could end up in TNA, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for him, to be honest with you. But it's clearly I don't know. It just seems like a lot of bad decision making in terms of just the promotion of this. And it seemed like all this thing got tripped up when the GoFundMe came out. Because one thing you don't do is play with people's money, especially during this time of the year and this period of history in the country. Like, one thing
they were very clear with what they were going to do with his money. They were very clear with what they were going to do with his money.
Because it's weird that there's even a GoFundMe, because it's like, are we paying for his surgery? Like, what are folks paying for?
He confirmed that WWE was paying for his surgery.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, all right, so what are we paying for his quality of life? To maintain? Yeah. Oh, his mortgage payments? I mean, you could do it for mortgage payments. I mean, if you want to. But everyone's got bills, you know what I'm saying? But if you have, if the Bucks can do it, you know what I'm saying? The Chelsea Green and all these other things.
I just feel like they doing it because so they could. Everything that they do feels like it's to stick it to somebody. It don't feel ever like
I'm a worker too.
Yeah, like genuine. It don't feel genuine. Like Chelsea Green that feels genuine. The Bucks just feels like they just try to like stick it to.
I don't know. I've never seen Chelsea Green, gush about Ridge Holland, but she's gonna call everybody else up. She ain't pull that nigga to the side.
Literally, she's sliding him to thousands, saying, "Nigga, just lay low for a while. Take this style while, and we gonna figure it out."
I'm gonna get you back. Don't worry.
We're gonna talk.
I'm talking to the right people.
We're gonna talk about Justin a little bit later, but let's move over to AEW. Twice, in fact,
it's not a pay-per-view week, but it's damn near close. It is Mud and Butt week.
With Mud and Butts. Nixon, Newell, and Miranda. Is it Alize?
Alize.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Sometimes you just got to put the name in the name generator, and it just gives you your career for you.
So they debuted. I have not watched AEW in months. Okay. So they had debuted 2 weeks ago. Huh?
I said great because I haven't either, unfortunately.
And my idea is that, or the idea I have is that they debuted 2 weeks ago on Collision. They jobbed.
Yeah.
And this is where this issue starts initially, because it was a match against Megan Bain. And so from there, they were
Megan Bain don't play. I don't know if you heard. You see Thunder Rosa lately? No.
I've seen. I've seen you cross the boss. You don't on TV anymore.
Megan Bain don't play, but go on.
And so they were set to be booked again on Collision, and they were mysteriously replaced by Maya World, and I forgot the other young lady's name. And so that match went off without a hitch, and it was whatever. It comes out through internet scuttlebutt that there was a potential that Nixon and Miranda walked out.
Why did this come out? Riddle me this. That's the question that I have. Why did this come out?
How did this come out?
Why? I'm more so with the why, because to my knowledge, these two don't even work there.
No.
And it's not like they came out on social media to let folks know that they weren't going to be working on the show anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm concerned, yes, how it comes out, but also like, why does this matter at all?
It has become abundantly clear to me that talent in AEW are extremely chatty, especially with not just dirt sheets, random people in their DMs, random people online, and it is rampant, like all over. That they just talk to and this is top guys too, just talking to niggas, just without
top guys out, top guys out, or top guys.
I mean, I think they talk directly, but like they just talk to niggas. Like it just is what it is, right? So, I think that like something could be said that like they need to tighten the ship, but I mean we're far beyond that. It's now a thing that in AEW niggas talk. You know what I'm saying? So this comes out, and I'll just say how it. I'm not even going to get into the specifics of this because we just don't have the time to do it, and it's two people that just aren't going to be talked about a lot on this show. It's a lot of they said this, and then Nixon and Miranda said no, we didn't. Someone said this, then they said no, we didn't. And then someone else said something else, and then she'll get on her stream and say no, that didn't happen at all. Brian Danielson has been involved in this somehow. Meelz, a lot of other talent have been involved in this or been name dropped, and then every time they've denied it. So it's in one of those situations where there's two sides of the story. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And I'm gonna be real. I don't care enough about Nixon and Miranda to actually try and decipher who's telling the truth. And I think AEW, it doesn't matter because literally they sent out the group text where it was like everyone needs to talk about how 3-minute matches are good. And
right. They essentially, I mean, someone within the company crafted the narrative of how this was supposed to be before it even got off the foot. I think if Nixon and Miranda, I think if they didn't appear on the show, no one would have batted an eye. I mean, it didn't really seem like, oh, it just didn't work out. We were there and then we're not, everyone had a great time. It seems like from what they're saying is that the producer was just like, okay, I mean, if you don't want to work, then all right, cool. And so they left because they don't work there, which is perfectly fine. And whoever crafted this, the narrative for the story made sure to include details that they kind of just walked off. They didn't want to do business. They had an issue last week with whatever match they were going to do and blah, 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 blah. And people weren't happy. And now they came and now they were trying to big time folks. It sounds when I hear about nobodies coming to try to big time folks, there's only a couple names in that company that set off my light of like, who's probably snitching. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, who is at Collision to be snitching?
Let me look who was booked on Collision. I'm gonna look to see, and then I'm gonna let you know who it was.
Okay. Well, from there, it's basically said that Nixon and Miranda didn't think that a 3-minute match would be good enough.
First match, they're already there. All right, cool. Go on.
But so that became the point of contention, and then so Nixon explains that, oh, so we said that wasn't going to work, and we wanted to go longer. They said that can't be possible, so maybe y'all should just go home, basically, and they went home. I don't think that exactly it happened that way.
Sure.
I really don't think it happened that way. I really don't. I do believe that there might have been some back and forth. I do actually believe that even the week that they were booked before, that they might have had an issue with jobbing. I think that Nixon thinks very highly of herself and her talents, as she should. But I think that what is the disconnect here is that a lot of that didn't really fold out to be anything. And I think that AEW is treating her in kind how she essentially has been booked her whole kind of American career.
Sure.
Right or wrong. Like I don't think there is anything wrong with them losing because it's not like they were being booked anywhere else before AEW called. You know, I don't even know. I'm not familiar with her girlfriend tag team partner at all. So that, you know, essentially that's her first shot at being on TV, and you kind of burned your bridge there.
Yeah.
I won't say that she's burned her bridge with WWE, but they certainly like don't need her.
I don't think. I mean, if it's
continuing to talk shit and not talk shit, but continuing to like build this narrative and all of this stuff.
But you have to defend yourself from the narrative that's out there. They wouldn't have to defend themselves if no narrative was put out there.
AEW doesn't care. They you know this. They don't care.
I know. I know. But it's just for any long-term thing, right? Because it's easy, especially to add the tag of like hard to work with for people who just don't fully align with what is given with them. It's easy to add that kind of tag with it. They did it with Alistair. They've done it with a number of people who used to be featured on AEW. It's just like, if you have any kind of if you aren't willingly and blindly accepting the creative that's there, you were pretty much written as hard to work with. And people get humbled over time. You get dragged through the mud, you get put on ROH, and you sit there for a number of years, for some would even say over 1,000-day title reign. And then and then you come out the other side like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to appear on Dynamite or appear on these other shows. I think, and then now, you know, like you said, other people are now tweaking on the timeline of like, you know, talent should be grateful for the opportunity, even if it's 3 minutes to work on the show and blah, 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 blah. And all these people who need to mind their damn business because ain't nobody was talking to them. Go back to, y'all ain't been on TV in years.
Yeah.
Years. Real TV, except Collision, I guess. Collision isn't real TV though. And want to talk about it. Yeah, I think if there was an opportunity, like for instance, if it's just Miranda Alize, she probably does it. If it's Nixon, well, she's like, yo, I've been doing this for years. I don't really want to be featured on a 3-minute match. At least that's what it seems. Honestly, it's probably somewhere in the middle.
That's where she's at now. And
but imagine, I mean, I don't know. To me, could this have ended up in an opportunity for some longer term thing? Yeah, probably. But I also respect that she won't do that shit. She don't want to.
But do you notice that there is a general theme in AEW when someone comes from another company, and this has been the conversation, they pretty much be like, I ain't doing none of this shit y'all asking me to do.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, because I don't think people talk about enough about how detrimental AEW can be to your long-term career if you let it be.
Yeah.
And from a standpoint of, we've talked about this before, there are the people who get the opportunity and they are featured on the show every week, and they're the pillars of the show, and they know how to play somewhat of a political game, and they know who they need to know to be able to this. And then there's everybody else. There's what's my girl's name? The chick who went to college, and now wants to be governor. She used to team up with Chelsea. Deonna Purrazzo came in, buzz, gone immediately because Mercedes shows up the next week. Still trying to figure out her footing. Half those people in ROH still trying to figure out their footing. I mean, people can talk about Athena's reign all they want, and 1,000-day reign is pretty impressive, and the matches that she have are pretty impressive, but also she would be on TV if she was in WWE.
Yeah.
So I don't think people talk about how detrimental it can be if you allow it to be. And I think Nixon was just like, listen, I'm not even doing the business thing for way too long, but I know I don't want to be trapped in this vortex of like jobbing in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Jobbing in 2 minutes over the course of 2 weeks. Like the first week, cool. Opportunity, great. Second week, oh, y'all just hiring me as a jobber. And I've worked in this business for how long? I've done this thing for how long? and I am not a jobber. It just is what it is. Um you wouldn't treat Ricochet this way if he just thanked. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't treat other people this. I mean, granted, he's had a much better career, but you wouldn't treat certain people this way 10 years in the biz and still treat them like a jobber. So I kind of get it. If she don't want to work there, she don't have to. She's put in enough time, and not to be just like completely lambasted in a couple minutes. I think for her own rep, she just wanted a couple more minutes.
What time?
Go ahead.
What time did she spend?
I mean, she's wrestled. I mean, granted, the knee thing has gotten in her career, but she's been wrestling for over a decade.
Yeah, well,
you wouldn't. I mean,
your book. It's a what have you done for me lately as business.
I agree, but also it's like have some respect for me if this is the professional wrestling company, have some respect for me as a professional wrestler who has been grinding for at least 10 years on this.
You would do the job. You would have did the job for fucking Natalia a couple years ago. Just do the job. Be clear, I'm team nobody here.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, just do the job. There's nothing wrong with you doing the job.
No, I agree. And I think if I'm in the situation, I'll probably do it. But I don't see anything wrong with her not wanting to do at least 2 weeks in a row. I mean, I don't know. But who knows? She can kind of do whatever she wants at this point because she says she has 2 years left in the biz. And now, she's already 1 year down. She said she's already 1 year down, so I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like we spent way too long talking about this.
I mean,
we neither of you care about either.
I mean, I'm just it's part of the news cycle.
Yeah.
The third head on this, Westside Gunn. He dropped a very long tweet, a very long run-on sentence, by the way. Should I read the tweet?
No, we don't have time. and let me just be clear here. Like, we don't have time, and this is also somebody else I don't want to spend a lot of fucking time on.
Okay.
Westside Gunn is a rapper. Everyone knows him. He's been around. I don't really even know how much I can say. So I'm going to try and say this as succinctly and as professionally as possible, just due to relationships that I have and relationships that I still keep with my friends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Westside Gunn, people like him. He, is someone who really loves the culture. He shows up, he spends money, and I think he expects to get a cookie for all of that. I'm not gonna lie. I think he expects to get a cookie for this. There are other people, celebrities, et cetera, that have done the same and will do the same, and they get that type of love from WWE at any time that they want to. I've seen it with my own eyes, how they treat people when you're in the family and when you're out the family. And I see how it is to do business with them because I myself have also done business with them years ago, right? Easiest people to do business with, especially on the outside. I can't speak about talent. I think that there are a lot of things that when you see what Westside Gunn has done with some of their IP, whether it be through music, whether it be through album covers, album art, there's another side to that business, and that is that they protect the shit out of their IP and their image. You cannot be saying that you rep this or you're part of this and this is what you do when you've got album covers with Hitler on it, with Chris Benoit on it, with pictures like stock photos, Getty images of their talent on your album covers, samples of their songs, their themes on your albums that, from what I hear, were not cleared. Those are just things you cannot do, regardless of if you're a fan or not. You don't get a fan privilege, because if you got a fan privilege, all the people that were sitting in those seats that also paid $500 to $600, they would be able to do the same thing that you do and have that same access. There comes a point where it stops being about just you being a fan and you just being professional. And I think a lot of people are like misconstruing the fact, or they may misconstrue what I'm saying to be like, oh, you're like part of the system. I'm like, no, it just makes sense that they would not fuck with the things that he was doing. And I think that actually making this long tweet about it actually made it worse, Because if you were that down with them, you know how to call. You know how to call all them people. You know how to call. You know how to call all the people that work there if you know them and you and they fuck with you. I know. Again, I'm friends with Wale. He got into some shit at the DC show 10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
He was banned for years. And he and I saw that relationship build back up to where it is now. And so when I see people, and this is just me talking, this is regardless of relationships, when I see people say he did so much for the culture, he did so much for this and that and the third, I'm like, are y'all forgetting that there's someone who actually took those lumps before? My man's took those lumps before so that he could run, he could walk. So when I look at this long ass shit, he ain't never made no paragraph like that. And I'm standing up for my boy right now. Album in stores, album on streaming on Friday, by the way. So I'm standing up for him right now. He's did that before. I don't care how you feel about him, whatever you feel. He's the one who's taking those lashings. That's probably the wrong way to say it. He's the one who took the heat. He took all of the arrows so that people like that could sit in that seat. And there's celebrities that shot that out and appreciate that, and they know that he was the gateway. And there's people that don't. And I think that when you look at the situation, there's a certain amount of entitlement that goes along with that, where you look at how Wale handles it, you look at how he handles it, and you'll see why one happens for one and one doesn't happen for the other. And I need people to wake up and get out of their own way when thinking about how you handle or how you professionally act around these companies, because you can't just do whatever the fuck you want to do. And you see how that works. So
I'll say this just really, really quickly, and then we can move on. I think it's cool that he's a fan. I think it's cool all the other extracurricular stuff that he's done with his own promotion, a lot of stuff like that. Pour your energy into that. That's all I'll say into that. This energy of like, I've spent, money and do all these things, fly around the world and all this other stuff like that. Everything Justin said prior to everything that I said is correct and pretty much what I was going to say as well. But just continue to pour into the art that you make. And again, try to, and you probably don't give a shit what I got to say because he's going to be like, what the fuck do you know? But at the end of the day, like, I've seen so many people misdirect their energy towards things that don't necessarily serve them. And if you feel like these companies, because at one point it was the AEW thing as well, like AEW was also like, they would be like, T-Pain's in the audience. And then you would see like Westside Gunn like 2 rows behind or some shit like that. They also won't give him anything. Continue to pour in your art, so and have people support your art. But other than that, like, yeah, don't direct your too much energy into this back and forth. I understand you're trying to. I guess he's venting publicly, but I wouldn't give it more energy after that. But
I'm not shocked. I'm not. People are trying to look at the business is shutting them down. I'm like what?
No, he has his own thing. Like he has a somewhat popular independent promotion.
I'm fucking seeing people say WWE should thank him for fucking what? They've never featured any of his songs on their programming ever. They've done bigger collabs with bigger artists. They do have other rappers on there.
They've featured him like once or twice. Like, oh, Westside Gunn is here. Like that one time on NXT.
And he took that as, well, shit, well, maybe I should put out more Crisp and Wall covers.
So here we are. Let's move over to the there you go. Before we hop over to the Patreon side, I'll touch on a few things. Especially on this free side, John Cena's night in Boston last night. We are 3 more appearances after this, right? We have MSG next week, Survivor Series in about 2 weeks, and then the big shebang bang in Washington, D.C. The John Cena moment last night was, again, we'll talk about it at the end of the year, but again, it was such a waste of time through half of this year. You know what I'm saying?
I would argue they made it less of a waste of time, though, in the last 5 months. I would argue that they actually rebounded quite a bit. It's worth having the conversation because it's such a fascinating way of how this company can do something right and then how they can do something wrong. And it's interesting how it was split, how we can actually split the time period of this retirement from one half to the next half, because there's one half that's like I hate it. Then there's another half where I'm just like, I love every second of this. And I think that is that not the dichotomy of John Cena's career in itself?
You know, that's a great discussion that we should have much later on at some point. He goes out to the ring. Triple H introduces him to kick off Monday Night Raw. He comes out to the ring for the last time in Boston. He gets celebrated as a champion, as he should be, interrupted by Dirty Dominic Mysterio, who initially gets a pop, but then just kind of seconds later, John Cena becomes the first person to get this man booed in like a month and a half.
Yeah.
It was a great moment. Dominic has truly improved in every facet of imagination. And Intercontinental Championship matches both between Dominic Mysterio and John Cena. John Cena wins the Intercontinental Championship for the last time, for the only time,
for the first time,
to become a Grand Slam champion. Feel good moment, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to say is there. I don't know what they're going to do with the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, I would imagine he just give it up, right? Like,
yeah, I guess so.
He could drop it. There's a lot of avenues they can go. What was interesting from this setup is that like we kind of knew that it would kind of end like this and he was going to do this, right? But I think like the interesting part of this is what he revealed the Saturday Night's main event for next month to be. Now we've already seen the last Saturday Night's main event actually have a lot of things going on, a lot of things happening, a lot of storylines progressing, and or not a lot, but like most storylines progressing and things changing hands. That's in that sense. John Cena announces that there is it's going to be an exhibition Saturday Night's main event where it will be WWE versus NXT talent on that show. And I think that was honestly the most interesting part of the whole announcement, because I my whole thing was like, I don't want any other matches to be aired on that show except for Cena's last match. And then when I heard that, I was just like, oh, okay, that actually is more exciting than even my idea. I actually like that a lot.
It's a rare idea that just seems very out of the box that WWE would do, that they typically wouldn't do at any point, because they're so kind of like focused on highlighting things that make money. But honestly, the thing that make money is closing the show. It's being sold upon one person's shoulders. So I don't think there's anything else to even include additional storylines like the World Heavyweight Championship, trying to muddy the things and find contenders and, you know, all types of other things. I don't think it's even necessary. So I'm kind of glad they're going this way of including NXT talent versus WWE talent on this show to give people more of an opportunity, just like the opportunity John Cena got when he came up. So you know what? I think this is, even if John Cena doesn't put over the person in his last match, he'll at least have put over a number of people featured on the show in front of a sold out bunch of fans. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this.
A month out, do you think he loses?
Yeah, I would think he loses. Yeah, I'm assuming he loses.
Yeah,
I'm assuming he loses.
It was a great. We'll talk more about the Raw on Patreon, but like it was a great episode. And I think that again, when they want to, they can really pull out all the stops. Even on the random Netflix Raws this year, they've just kind of pulled out the stops altogether. But I did like the feeling that this Raw was leading to something and it meant something. And the kicking off the show with this was really hot.
Because I don't know what the fuck SmackDown was leading to when SmackDown had a thing. We'll extend that conversation over to Patreon. Because SmackDown is its own world currently, and I'm not a major fan of the decisions being made on SmackDown. I'll just say I'm not a fan of the Chelsea Green result, so we'll talk about that on Patreon. And then also kind of like what they're doing in the main event scene. I'm also kind of confused on that. So it is what it is, but we have a great Monday Night Raw. We have a great Friday Night SmackDown, and we'll talk about that much on Patreon. But if you have not already, and you're listening to the sound of my voice, the Run It Back Battle Royale is absolutely live right now. Again, it is open to all patrons. You do not have to pay to enter. You just have to sign up. to join our Patreon. And there are a number of people who have already entered themselves, everybody except Bosa at this point.
Wow. just one more stab.
Yeah, well, he's won already. He's won twice. So we'll see. But yeah, let's head over to Patreon.
Let's go. All right, y'all. See you guys next week on the A Show. Peace.